Welcome to the channel and this continued conversation about this 63 Mercury Monterey that we've been taking apart. And there's been actually a lot of questions since we started taking this thing apart, and you know, usually you find answers, but there's just been things that have come up that have raised some question. In this case, actually, it's the part numbers. So of course, if you know your Ford part numbers from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, the part number was led by a letter: A for 1940, B for 1950, C for 1960, and so on. So of course, most of the parts we've taken off this Mercury Monterey, this is actually the vent window frame. So if I show you this up close, you can see distinctly there's a C3 on the part. Majority of the parts that actually have the numbers on them have come up as C3 parts. We know the car had had a collision, and then when we first found a bracket, this is a bumper bracket, by the way, we noticed that there was a C1 part number on it after we sandblasted it. So we thought maybe when the car was repaired that there was also brackets replaced, and maybe even the bumper. We weren't sure at the time, but then we also took the back apart and we found the same thing. This one's not quite as clean, but you can also see the C1 is also on. This is actually on all the rear brackets that support the rear bumper. So I guess the question here for us actually is, was this car in a collision and these brackets were replaced? And yeah, here's another one too. This one's actually already got paint on it, and it also has a C1. So if you've owned a early 60s Mercury, did you find 61 parts on your car, or were they actually stamped C3? Because it looks like all the brackets on this car were stamped C1, which means they were actually 61 parts. Not that we have a problem with it, it just, we found it rather strange. We almost can't wait to dive into this 62 and see how many parts are matching for that year as well. Maybe there's 61 parts in this car as well. So thanks for watching, and please, if you're in the know about some of this stuff, we'd like to know. We're just curious about this car. It's raised a lot of questions. Have a great day.